Hi, Luca. Last week in science, you learned a lot about thermal energy. You learned what thermal energy was, that it's heat when things get hot. You learned that there are a lot of sources of thermal energy, like friction, like electricity, or a chemical reaction, or the sun, or the inside of the earth. Those are all things that make things get thermal energy. You also learned that heat always goes from a hotter object to a colder object. And today we are going to learn about insulators and conductors, two types of materials that they can be sorted into. So, I made another chart for us that we can use to help. So here I have conductor. A conductor is any material that allows energy to pass through it. So it's going to allow that heat to go through the material and it's going to get really hot because of that. So here are some examples. Metals. All metals are conductors. Metals are going to get really hot, especially if they're out in the sun. So here are some examples of metals. Aluminum, copper, iron, and steel. All of those metals are going to be conductors. They're going to get hot and allow the heat to pass through it. Glass is also a conductor. And here are some examples. A metal spoon, a paper clip, which is also made of metal, a penny, which is made of copper, another metal, and a skillet, which is made of iron. You can see that these are all metals. So think, if you see something that's metal or glass, it's going to be a conductor. So if it's been in the heat or in the sun for a long time, it's going to be hot because it's allowing the energy to pass through it. Now the second type of material is an insulator, and that is the opposite of a conductor. An insulator is a material that stops or slows energy from passing through it. And here are some examples. Plastic, right? There's a reason why lots of slides are made of plastic instead of metal. If that slide was in the sun all day long and it was made of metal, it would be really hot to go down and it would hurt you, it would burn you. But a plastic slide is an insulator. It doesn't allow the energy to pass through it, so it doesn't get as hot. Another example is rubber, wood, and wool. Wool is a type of material lots of times in your big winter jackets, right? So you put those jackets on and they keep you warm because it doesn't allow energy to pass through it. The energy from your body that was already warm isn't going to be allowed to get out of your body because that wool is keeping it inside. It's insulating you. So here are some examples of pictures of things that are insulators. A wooden spoon. If you're cooking with something that's hot, it's a good idea to use a wooden spoon because the wood is going to stop the heat from getting to your hand. A rubber band is also an example of an insulator because it's made of rubber. And an oven mitt, right, which you want to put on before you reach into the oven to grab something. It's going to keep your hands an appropriate temperature so they don't get too hot. So there you have conductors and insulators, okay? So I want you to use this to help you decide if a material is a conductor, if it's going to allow energy to pass through it and get really hot, or if it's an insulator, if it's going to stop or slow that heat from going through that object. All right, have a good day.